Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, and you join me on the battlefield at Drumahare, rooting through the corpses. You know me, looking for gold, looking for anything I can find. It's the 14th of March, 1091, the day on which Uladh, the King of Ulster, died. His heart basically couldn't take it anymore. He was so nervous over the battle that was going on here. His son, Quirkta, ascends. Realistically, he would have been given a stick. He would have gotten a little branch off of the inauguration tree. So that's kind of what happened. There's no throne, there's no crown. And we have to try and figure out how to hold all this thing together now. I didn't mention this the last time, but okay, he was a weirdo, he was afraid of girls, and he spent far too much time obsessing over kidnapping babies. But Uladh financed at least 2 wars, major expansions in Dún Pódraig, a mercenary company, all financed on the back of waiting for people to get naked and then sending jesters into their room. Like, you do have to hand it to him. He was something. He was something. And of course, tragically, how Uladh died was he was being walled up in a cellar. And Eadh, the ruler of Breffni, stopped halfway through for a tea break or something, I'm not too sure. And Uladh woke up and he pushed his way out of the wall, but he found a ton of beer and he started drinking that. Well, Eadh has been captured by Uladh's son-in-law, Moel Murra, who's our brother-in-law. At the moment, he won't form an alliance with us. All our alliances are gone, but I'm hoping that once this war ends, we will be able to re-establish them. So Eadh is in a prison somewhere, and we have a new bishop, Rumon. That's the same bishop. Okay. I'm going to sort out the court. I'm going to see what we're lacking in the court, and we're going to try and marry to get those stats. And then we're going to finish off this war, hopefully. We're now, of course, in a position where powerful vassals want positions on the council. Here is one of those powerful vassals. Our half-brother Dúnadach. The only position up for grabs at the moment is Marshal. Dúnadach might make a good Chancellor someday. But the Marshal position is going to Rectbra. I don't know what the hell he's going to continue doing. Probably increasing control. Alec has dropped a bit. I can't remember, was that because of a Viking raid there? Or was there... Who knows at this stage? Who knows? So we've that sorted out. The next thing to do is to choose our lifestyle. We have... we're not the best, but diplomacy is the route that we're going to be going down. We have completely finished off the family hierarchy. Okay. So we'll probably finish off, or we'll come down a bit of the August tree, and we'll see then about maybe switching across to stewardship and or intrigue, and following the same money-making scheme that our father had. For now, we'll get the prestige bonuses. There's nobody really close to us at the moment who would make for a good alliance, so I am going to reach out to France to... I think she's a granddaughter of one of the former kings of France. Her father is in line for the kingdom of Croatia. And she has a fairly good marshal, so she's actually going to assist in... Actually, she'd be fantastic if we could bring her out and put her sieging down somewhere, because a military engineer is something we're lacking. So we're going to send that proposal, not really to get troops, but predominantly just to get somebody in the court who can help our marshal. And just a day or two ago, in a drunken, frantic stupor, our father married our sister to the son of the Duchess of Moray, to gain, I think, 1,400 troops. Looks like it was a bit of overkill. Looks like we could have actually managed to hold things off. But the major problem was that, and there's still actually a problem, is the Icelandic forces, especially Iceland. There were two raiders in here. These are the guys that caused a bit of confusion, because I think my army actually split, and one side was on one side of the battle and the other side was on the other side. I'm not too sure what actually happened there. We're going to unpause as our forces hold the battlefield at Breffni, and as the divided Munster and Connacht forces, I think it's predominantly Munster forces, retreat, and we will push on towards Mayo. I presume it's to Crochan. It is indeed. We have our alliance. Well, we're not really pushed about the alliance. We have a wife. That's much more important. And of course our armies actually need a commander. We can't... Well, both armies need a commander. I might be able to bring them in, begin sieging, and then merge them together. Troy, the poor man, has passed away. So that is our court physician. And what else does he do? He's our court physician and our counselor. So we're going to have to find a new diplomat. I think we're going to put this under the command of Captain Gilpatrick. We're paying him enough, so he might as well do something. Let's see who we can get to replace poor old Troy. So our son would indeed be the most suitable candidate. Our son and heir, Cronon. We're going to give it to our half-brother, Dúnadach, to shut him up. Oh god, somebody's got an awful big ideas into his head. And we'd better go and find a court physician as well. So I've no actual idea who this man is. I've never seen him before. Finlay. He's a giant. We can't appoint him at the moment. He's probably visiting our court. We can appoint him. Okay. Well, there you go. We have a giant physician now. What more do you want? What the hell is wrong with the people in this family? Uladh was a chaste seducer. And Quirkta likes to make friends, except for the fact that he is shy. So we're going to get a bit of a penalty to that. Malcolm has died and been replaced by his son, Duncan II. We're going to come to the Isles. And I think this is Gudrid. Yeah. Our father was trying to abduct your kids. Sorry about that. Let's be friends. Let's be friends with him. So we are slowly sieging down Mayo. Our allies are trying to split off to catch Connacht. Which is actually kind of a good idea. So if we were to move this force forward, that's exactly what I was hoping for. So at all, if they're going to come in. Okay, that took a bit longer than expected. Gave Munster a bit of an advantage. Looks like there's a rebellion after breaking out in Ivonia. And our other allies from Scotland are going to deal with the tiny Connacht force that actually made it into Alloch. We will have to do a bit of an expansion of the army after this because we really are suffering. So again, Munster's attempting to sneak in. I'm hoping that our allies will deal with them because we're actually going to lose our mercenary contract shortly. What's going to happen first? Are we going to siege down Mayo, or is Munster going to get caught? So this could bring the war to an end. A battle that we're not even involved in. There you go. After all that chaos, we're in a position to enforce our demands. And Breffni is stripped off from Connacht and attached to an ever-expanding Ulster. A heavily depleted Ulster militarily. Peace reigns for now. We are allyless, other than some randomer in France. We are in a position to reform our alliance with our brother-in-law, so we will negotiate that alliance. What I might do at some stage is try to befriend the Duchess up here, who is also, well, no, her son is our brother-in-law, son and heir, I think. We might try and befriend him, or her, I should say, his mother, to get that alliance back, because we can't get it at the moment. And I've also switched from trying to befriend the ruler of the Isles to our suffragan bishop. It makes sense. Make him our friend, and then he will be less likely to not endorse us. He's not endorsing us at the moment. The big trouble is that because we're shy, every time we try and befriend somebody, or form alliances or anything like that, it gains us 19 stress. So we're now up to 98 stress already, because we're shy from befriending people, which are the traits we picked. So I'm not too sure which of the two of them it was that caused the stress. We've become overwhelmed by stress. It was either forming an alliance with our brother-in-law, or it was getting our wife pregnant, but we're shy. So one of the two of those definitely caused us to go over the edge. We could either sequester ourselves and become reclusive, which is going to hit diplomacy and stewardship. We could convert to that, or we could just take more stress. Do we want to become reclusive? No, because then we can't make friends anymore. So no, we'll just double down on the stress. It worked for our father. And what a glorious day this is. We have become the culture head of Irish culture because Tadhg is still in prison. I'm not too sure who he's been imprisoned by, actually. Our allies in Moray. So his father died. Mordecai died in the war itself. Well, he didn't die in the war. I presume he died of old age. What did your father die from? Gout. So Brian is now the king. He is being jailed by this woman, who we're going to make friends with at some stage. And as such, he has been removed as the head of the Irish culture, which is now a position that we have. There's not a huge lot we can do over here in the innovations. Hereditary rule is what Mordecai was going for. We might come back and look at this at a later point in time. We're going to try and befriend the priest. We have a little in common. So we gain learning study, 83% chance of success. And there you go. Befriend gains studying interests. So our actions in taking Breffni seem to have caused utter chaos. Tadhg has just been taken prisoner by the ruler of Ivonia. I'm not too sure what's after happening here. It looks like he has been deposed and replaced with a small child. Another member of his family. So yeah, a faction demand has kicked in. So Connacht has become even weaker. And our wife has given us a child. Cahneo. We won't call him Uladh. Keach. I don't know what this means. I have a feeling it means either blind dog or dog of the blind, or hound of the blind. I'm not actually too sure what that means. Caelach. May you grow to be strong and wise, my son. More anarchy in Munster. Tadhg has died of his wounds. I'm not too sure if he died in prison or if he was released beforehand. His brother, Mordecai's son, Mordecai's ugly, reclusive son, Fogartuck, has become the new King of Munster. And we're being told something by our suffragan bishop. After long thinking, I finally decided to invite Rumon to come on a tour of one of my estates in Carrickfergus. The visit turned out to be even better than I expected. He is not only my bishop, but my friend. Cronon comes to us offering to improve relations with the King of Dublin. I think we're going to say it's not worth the effort and lose some stress. And that visit to Carrickfergus did indeed get the papal thumbs up. Well, at least a thumbs up from Rumon. He's happy out. He had a great old time. Our wife, Blanche, has given us a second son. So this is, I think, our third son in total. Moel Brazel. May you grow to be strong and wise. So, we now have 3 sons and 2 counties to bestow on them. So somebody is going to have to become a knight. Speaking of which, I have put out the call for knights to join the court because I do want to get somebody to push Cronon off the list. And we get a diplomacy lifestyle perk. I might have gone for this one originally. We're going in a different direction. Opinion gain from send gift, 100%. I'm not going to be sending any gifts. Today is the day the laughter stopped. I was just about to go and hire Tomas, but 2 things happened. Our jester died, so now we need to hire 2 knights to push Cronon out of the list. Temnon has come onto the list. We've also gotten this guy. Prowess, absolutely fantastic. Marshal, not great. I was hoping we'd end up with somebody who might actually also take over as Marshal. If we recruit... So yes, so nobody new has come to our court. It's just Tomas and Armaduch. Neither of them... Well, okay. This guy's at 12. Our current Marshal is 11. I don't think we have anybody better. Temnon, but he is serving as our steward. So I suppose, yeah, look, we will hire Armaduch. Flancaed. For 55, that isn't too bad. And we might actually be able to sneak him in. I don't think it'll make much of a difference. Sneak him in as our Marshal. It knocked a couple of months off of the increase in control, and we also have our wife assisting. We have 2 unmarried half-sisters at the moment. Elbrig, who was given a martial education in Wales and was actually captured in a battle at one stage. We're going to marry her off to the future King of Dublin. He's the heir to the earldom of Difflin. And we're going to form an alliance with pretty much the largest, I think it's the largest, or close to being the largest military power on the island. And we still have Orla to marry off. She has the, I think it's the Hail trait, so I might actually see about marrying her possibly to one of our knights. After all that work, taking Rumon to Carrickfergus. And he's gone and died. Flahertuch Uí Néill of the house Uí Néill has taken over as our new bishop. Here is our other friend, our father's trusted spymaster, and a great cook. She's great at the old cooking. I eat whatever she puts in front of me without asking questions. There are few things that I enjoy more than Dervla's cooking. She quietly listened to all my troubles. And after a short break, I feel like I have a great friend and we lose some stress. Aww. That's nice. So way out in the Vatican, the Pope has declared that Catholics can go on crusade. Unfortunately, that doesn't include us. So this has no impact on us. Which makes me wonder, is there any point in getting the money together and forming the Order of St. Patrick? Because if I form an insular Christian holy order, A, we can't do anything with it. But then if I do convert to Catholicism, what happens then? Does it convert as well? As their petty king, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law. But how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? So basically we can either drop taxes by 5% or we can gain 20 opinion with the King of Scotland, and that's the option that we will go with. I didn't actually know that this was an option, but we've discovered that somebody at court is plotting to elope with my courtier. Ben Uladh, Ulster woman, or woman of Ulster. I married her to our giant physician because she has the robust trait. She also has the fornicator and ill health trait. They have had a child, however. Hasn't picked up her father's giant trait, but does have the robust trait. So that's good, at least. But somebody's plotting to elope with her. We must stop. I'm just going to close all these windows. England is racked by another civil war. From what I can understand, this faction is attempting to install the former king, the little baba that was deposed. So what am I looking for? We're looking for the title history. There he is, and that is indeed the guy that they are trying to install at the moment. I don't think it's going to succeed, but it's causing a lot of anarchy and a lot of havoc in the region. De Hybert has also broken back out from Gwynedd, and Gwynedd has been dragged into this war, from what I can see, and now there's something happening in De Hybert. Anarchy, madness. I've started to appoint a few court positions. I have made my sister Martha the court tutor. The antiquarian, I'm going to give that position to Finlay. And we might start to look at actually making some artifacts. I don't think we need a jester at the moment. We probably need bodyguards and champions, but we're not really in a position to hire anyone at the moment. For Seneschal, I could hire somebody and start the process of increasing control growth. But you know what? We're nearly fit. Well, we're not. It's going to take ages. It's going to take absolute ages to get anything done here in Dromahare. Connacht's forces have come in against the Raiders in Dromahare just as we get a lifestyle perk. So I'll pause there quickly. We're going to take Ducal Conquest. And the next one is Forced Vassalization. So things have been quiet, because that's pretty much what we're waiting for at the moment, is to see if we can get our hands on that. The Mayor of Carrickfergus is causing a bit of trouble for us. We're going to gain 50 diplomacy lifestyle no matter what we pick. We're also going to get some stress. I think, because they're greedy, that they might do everything in her power to get the task done. So we'll see if that was the best option. It looks like it was. So we get a weak hook on her. If only our father was still alive. We get a weak hook on her. And some diplomacy lifestyle experience. It looks like one of our brothers has gone to war with the other. So we're seeing Alach march on, or I should say Arguilla march on Alach. Well, not for me to get involved. I have desires of my own. So we were complaining there a while back about crusades. I imagine if we convert to orthodoxy, Irish Orthodox, we might be able to get involved in some crusades. We'll take the stress. We'll take the stress penalty. And what we might very well do is actually hold, I'd say close to the first feast. That's 100. Let's have a hunt. That's knocked off a good chunk of our money. Oh lord, I'm trying to lose stress. We're having a feast, or not a feast, a hunt, so I can lose stress, and these two idiots start causing trouble. What's this? My half-brother and my son. It looks like we're going to give my 23-year-old half-brother and vassal a taste of the belt for 5 years. So he'll have a minor health penalty, and his prestige will go down. Because I'm not gaining stress from this, you fools. You absolute idiots. I don't even know what he's at up here then. Oh, Dúnadach. You ape. Do you know what? Considering who their father was, I don't really... I'm not surprised by this. My two sisters, my sister and my half-sister, are fighting. I can enter the room and break up the fight. I think this might be a diplomacy challenge. I was just going to take the stress reduction. Let's try and break up the fight. So if we succeed, we do indeed get 100 diplomacy, lifestyle experience. I don't care about actually gaining opinion with these people. We could gain a guaranteed 50 and 150 prestige. That's the one we're going to go with. Even though we're going to lose opinion with all of them. Cosrasuk, our son has come of age. He has traits. He mightn't actually be the worst web weaver. I'm not too sure if anybody was bringing him up. So, yeah, he's not... He tries. Bless him, he tries. Here is a randomer in our court, threatening to leave. Away off you go. I'm not really too pushed. Isabella De Montfort is going to go as well. She was married to Dunsleva. And... of course, there were, unfortunately, a lot of widows after the last war. So I married off a number of people in the court to random courtiers, basically. But Isabel de Montfort was one of them, so she is leaving with that guest from our court. The King of Scotland wants to begin written conversations with us. We could politely decline to lose some stress. I think we're going to frame the letter. We're delighted. The King of Scotland, Senpai, has noticed us. Delighted with ourselves. For Cosrasuk, we'll organise a marriage between himself and the sister of the Count of Derby. So that's nice and nearby. I still have a half-sister that I haven't married off yet. We haven't really found anyone in the court, and especially now that she's our court tutor, we'll want to hold on to her. So again, we will wait until better opportunities arise. It has been a relatively quiet number of years for Quirkta. After all the excitement of how he came to power, he has been plotting and planning. He's going to commission an artifact for himself. And I think it's going to be either a crown or regalia. This is not a warrior. We will go for a crown. We will hire a local artisan to make him a crown. Somebody has joined our court. They have good learning stats. But he has a plan. Something that he has been working towards. a crown, basically. That's been his plan all along. So our beneficiary is muttering to herself from across the hall. She needs something great, but what? And she is going to add our family's motto to the commission. I kind of expect it to be on the commission. So we could gain piety, or we could get the 50 renown for the family. I'm not too sure how this war between these two fools is going to work out. Because I don't think he's in a position to actually siege that region down, so they can just kind of hang around there with their armies raised, doing nothing for a while. So here is our ally, Donal Murrachad's son. Because he's Norse and Catholic. Oh, he's involved in a war. Ah, crusade for Jerusalem. Okay, well, that's not going great at the moment. Our antiquarian, no, this isn't our antiquarian, it's the beneficiary. Metalsmith comes back to us to update us on the progress, but we're shy. There's a stewardship challenge or a diplomacy challenge, neither of which is great. We'll get 19 stress, and then we'll get another 19 stress because we're shy. So we'll get a ton of stress. How are we doing at the moment? And it's only for a 57% chance that it will be slightly better. I think we will take, I'd say, yeah, she knows what she's doing. We paid good money, we won't make mistakes. Okay, we have a lifestyle perk. We're going to go for forced vassalage. We're going to see if I actually read this correctly. Declare war, force vassalization for 125 prestige. Force vassalization will allow us to go to war with any independent, so it wouldn't allow us to go to war with a duke. But basically, now Ossory is trying to seize Ormond. No, it's trying to seize Thomond actually, but it won't be able to form a duchy. We now have the tools, the mechanics, with which we can sweep down the entire east coast of Ireland. And if Ossory does win in its war for Thomond, then we could push in that direction. But if we can take this region here, saving money, we will have what we need to form the Kingdom of Ireland. So that is Quirkda's great plan. His father was a bit frantic. His father used to not think things through. He'd see a baby and he'd say, I want that baby. Kidnap that baby. And there might be no chance of kidnapping the baby. Quirkda has bided his time. He has prepared. He has studied. And now, hopefully, he's going to be in a position to wage continuous war. We will, of course, use Dublin, our allies in Dublin, to take Athlone, Ossory, and Leinster. Finally, we will turn on Dublin itself, or possibly even try and gain their vassalization some other way. And with a bit of money and a bit of luck, Quirkda should be in a position to proclaim himself as the High King of Ireland. That's the goal anyway. I hope you'll join me on the next episode when we see if it works out.